What an incredible location. We've got big waves, big mountains and big motorsport. We are in Cape Town for round 12 of the FIA World Rallycross Championship, the only world FIA event that takes place in sub-Saharan Africa. Now we know that the championship has been decided, we have a winner. But who's going to be second place? There's plenty to play for, including pride. Join us for the grand finale here in South Africa. Well, hello and welcome to South Africa. This is it, the great decider, the final session of qualifying of 2018. And as you can see, the cars are lining up. We won't see them in this format, this livery, in this lineup ever again, so make the most of it. There's Robin Larson there, just sort of getting ready, getting chilled. If you haven't already seen it on social media, an amazing round the outside move, which is possible here at South Africa. Let us know where you're watching from. You're joining us live, and of course, you'll be able to come and see the live broadcast through your TV channels, but for now, thanks for being here for our live streams. Table Mountain is over there. It's the view from off the start line of the grid. It's quite extraordinary. Let's just grab a quick word with Timur Timizyanov. Timur, it was great to see you. The pressure was on this morning after your puncture yesterday, and you absolutely delivered. You must be happy with what happened in qualifying 3.
Yeah, we know that it's much easier to drive on this track when we have only 3 cars on the start grid. We can see it yesterday by the Yanis Baumanis time, because he clean run and everything is okay. Yesterday it was my actually mistake on the dust. I can't see exactly where is the wall. Landed on one side and get the puncture on the rear. But yeah, today is a new racing day. Today is a tough day. Actually, everybody wants to be in the semi-finals, and for sure they want to be in the final. Now we need to run the last qualifying of 2018 season and see how is it going, because it will be not easy for sure. Really close with the points in the second group of the drivers. But yeah, we will see. We need to finish that first, and then how's it going.
Okay, well, good luck. Hopefully see you in the semis at least.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah. Good. Let's come over here. A very nice, shiny thermal vest going over Gerlan Shishirit's car. Gerlan, how are you enjoying being here in Africa and racing on this extraordinary circuit?
Yeah, to be honest, it's really amazing to finish here. The sun is quite strong, so be careful with the sunscreen. No, it's good. It's good. Just I'm a bit upset with myself because I cannot find the speed. The last few races I was progressing quite a lot, and here I don't know, I felt like going one step back. So I don't know what to do really. So I have to work on my driving.
But aside from the driving, which is all about the human being behind the wheel, tell us a little bit, for people who are just joining this championship at the end, about how good and how advanced this car is compared to even the other cars on the grid.
That's the first real proper rallycross car have been built around the regulation. So this car is not coming from another sport or previous sports. She has really been built around the rallycross regulation. So she's quite innovating. So with some inboard brake, some many innovation, which is good because the car has such big potential. But now we are on the learning process. It was really hard years for us because everywhere we go somewhere, it's a brand new track for us. We need to find a good setup. So the first qualification, we are pretty much testing when the other are already right on point. But next year is going to be, I think, much better for us.
Well, I know that Pro Drive don't enter a championship unless they think they're going to win a world championship. So all eyes on this guy and this car over the next 2 years. Thanks, Gerlan. Good luck. So here we go, the decisive final session of qualifying. Who goes home and who goes through to the semi-finals? You're about to watch it live. Let's join our commentators, Marius Roberts and Andrew Coley.
So Johan Kristoffersson is looking for his 8th top qualifier spot of the year. Marius, last session out, Loeb was incredible. Loeb was perfect, yeah? You couldn't have judged him any less than 10 out of 10, and then Johan does 11 out of 10, and that's pretty apt, actually, because he's looking for 11 out of 12 here this weekend.
Andrew, it was unbelievable. I think we thought Loeb had done everything that he needed to have done. Perfect run, new tyres. What more can the guy do? And then along comes Jan Christophersen with 2 new wheels on the left side and absolutely obliterates it. Literally 1.1 second quicker from a total race time, and I think about 0.2 quicker through that Joker lap as well. So he is looking on song. But listen, time for fun and games are over. For me, EKS have actually been quite quiet, gearing up nicely for that championship.
The pace has been interesting, hasn't it, between the various different teams, and the dust certainly was affecting them a little bit yesterday. We've seen new tyres, used tyres. But if you've missed any of the action, Q1 and Q2 I think you can find online already. We're going to take back a look at Q3. So this was the first race. Baumanis on the inside, Ericsson and Larson. Have a look at this. So Gronholm moves across, and it looks like Larson's lost out, and he does this incredible round the outside move and manages to take the whole shot from P4. Super sideways. We're loving Larson's driving style, as always. Gronholm in the background, not quite so quick this weekend, it seems. Later on in the race, Ericsson holding on from his teammate Larson, slotting out in front of Gronholm. Baumanis dropping back with a problem. Baumanis in a good position. Have they managed to fix that car in time for Q4? This was Sebastian Loeb getting the whole shot. Teammate Kevin Hansen playing rear gunner. Scheider trying to go around the outside, but not quite pulling the move off. And this was that incredible run from Loeb. Literally 3 fastest laps in a row, followed by the fastest Joker lap we've seen all weekend by 0.3 of a second. So we knew the track was quick. We knew he'd taken new boots. He went and absolutely destroyed the timesheet. Great job. Didn't think it was going to be possible to beat it, but of course we hadn't counted on that man, Johan Christophersen, the record breaker, the double World Rallycross champion. Hansen tried to go around the outside, again couldn't quite get it done. Christophersen getting the whole shot, and from there setting fastest lap after fastest lap, beating Loeb's benchmark every time. Look in the background, super close between Hansen and Solberg. Hansen just getting out in front of Petter, but Christophersen taking it by 1.1 seconds. Absolutely unbelievable drive, putting him in a brilliant position as we head into the 4th qualifying session. So there you go, Sebastian Loeb, currently the top qualifier after 3 sessions, but with 2 wins in a row, you cannot count out Johan Christophersen, who, don't forget, was P16 after Q1. Hansen and Solberg take P3 and P4, so it's 2 Volkswagens and 2 Peugeots in the top 4, followed by the 2 Audis 5th and 6th. Ekstrom ahead of backward in that fight for P2 in the standings. Hansen and Anton Markland are 7th and 8th. We then got Timosyanov, Baumanis, Ericsson and Scheider down to P12. Schischrit, look, Gronholm, Larson, they're all pretty close, but particularly Schischrit trying to sneak his way through. Gronholm too, maybe. Can they get a spot in the semi-finals?
There was another accident on Friday. We didn't qualify.
Well, there you go, Baumanis fanning himself from the heat here today. It's still windy, but not when you're strapped into one of these cars and wearing a race suit like these guys are. It's super hot. This one has a lineup of de Moustier on the inside, René Munich in the middle, and Yanis Baumanis on the outside. Baumanis still in P10, despite having had a bit of a shocker in Q3. And we heard Timosyanov saying just a few minutes ago, look at the time that Baumanis did yesterday when he was in a 3-car race and had some clear running. So he's going to be hoping for the whole shot and that he can do the same again. Good even start across, but I think Baumanis is going to have enough to outdrag him down towards turn 1. Munich's looking quick, but Baumanis slides the car across and shuts the door. Munich is nice and sensible in behind him. So Yanis Baumanis now has to push and try and drag himself back up. Marius, so far he's had a 5th and 11th and then a 17th. The 17th obviously being the one that didn't go too well.
But as you picked up, Andrew, he did really well yesterday in a 3-car race, and if he wants to secure a spot in the semi-finals, this is actually perfect for him. He had a great start, closed the door, turn 1, no issue. We saw de Moustier having a bit of a problem going through turn 2, which is why he's obviously got to take the Joker early, give himself some real clean air, even though he didn't have enough. So let's see what he can do. But Baumanis wanting to secure that semi-final start. He was quick yesterday.
This, of course, is what Christophersen did in Q2. You know, okay, Q3 destroyed with a 5-car field of the best drivers in the entire world. But in Q2, he had that thing where, yeah, bad race puts you in easy heat. clear track gives you what you need, and he got the job done yesterday when track conditions were developing and making the track slower. What we're seeing today is we're not seeing that development of a slower track through the session because the gravel is not getting dragged out in turn one. If you missed it earlier, there's been a big change there.
I want to talk about that change, and also that shot of Table Mountain gives us clear indication. In Cape Town, the southeaster blows the tablecloth over the mountain. That's what we had yesterday. The wind has changed direction. The northwester is blowing, which will bring rain probably tomorrow. So it's actually pretty hot out there. The wind has backed off, and turn one is the big change. If you get a shot at turn one, you'll see no gravel, no dust, no bits of curbing lying on the course because they put new cement on the inside and put a tyre bollard there to ensure guys don't cut too much.
What I'm most impressed with is your weather knowledge there, to be honest, mate. That should bring rain tomorrow. We're going to get a little map up in the background here, and perhaps we can knock out some weather reports in the meantime.
A bit of local knowledge.
There we go, Balmanis then continuing to lead while the lap time's like 41.3s is about a second of the ultimate pace. When we say ultimate, we're talking Loeb and Christopherson in factory cars. This is the car run by Stard, and Balmanis, you know, he's doing a brilliant job, as he always does. Really hoping he makes it through to the semi-finals. He should, in theory, from P10, if he's doing lap times like this, he should be able to hold on, but obviously we've got a load of races still to come.
Andrew, when I chatted to Balmanis earlier in the week, he just said it is really tough coming as a single car in the championship like this. You don't have a teammate to bounce ideas off of. When we were chatting with Peter and Johan, that's exactly what they do. They take different strategies in the practice sessions and they share those notes. So for Balmanis, it's tough being a privateer and obviously arriving with one car makes your life a little bit tricky. But his times are pretty consistent. He's banging in 41.3, 41.3, 41.3. So let's see how he does on his Joker lap right now.
Balmanis around that last corner. Munich 2.3 seconds back, goes into the Joker with him. He keeps it smooth, carries a bit of speed, and then on the gas, get the car straight early. So good run by Balmanis. Bear in mind the winning time last time out was a 2:48.5, which is incredibly quick, but Balmanis is going to do a 2:54.2, so a 44.3 on the Joker. Yeah, it's a second a lap, isn't it, basically, which is what the difference is. But as I say, factory car. That's a good drive from Balmanis. Let's compare it to his time yesterday, 2:54.2. Balmanis' time yesterday, 2:53.3 and a 2:57. So yeah, Balmanis is pretty much where he needs to be. Good drive, Yanis. Door open again, trying to keep that temperature down in the car. 2:54.2 for Balmanis. Munich P2, and then Demoustier. Oliver Bennett at DNS, unfortunately broken the gearbox, so we will not see Bennett again this weekend. A long way to come for that to happen. We're sorry for Ollie, and it's been great to have him along for the ride in both World RX and ARX this year. Balmanis off the line, managing to get the whole shot. Even from the outside, okay, only 3 cars, but, you know, hooked it up and then shut the door. And everybody's sensible here, you know, often in the early races you get a bit of carnage, but these guys, they know it's about time and they've got to get it done. Yeah,
there was a little mistake Demoustier made, yeah. A little over-rotation going into turn 2, which has obviously cost him. But a tough weekend for him too. He had a clutch problem in Q2 yesterday, so not much track time. But Balmanis, as you said, doing what he needed to do. He's got a clear track, 3 cars. It's important that he secures a slot in the semis.
It is indeed. This was him on his Joker. His consistency was good, I say, across the 3 standard laps. Joker lap 2, and he's on the money for the times he was setting yesterday when he was up towards well into the top 10, in fact. So hopefully a good result for Balmanis here in Q4. He's only got to wait 3 more races to find out if he's going to make it through to the semi-finals.
Yanis, you needed a really good result in that after what happened in Q3. Do you think that's quick enough?
I hope yes, but actually I don't care so much about the result because I want to take all my team, all the people who were involved to fix the car after crash up destroyed half of the rear body and all the pipes and brake tubes and a lot of different stuff, and they prepared in 70 minutes the car, and yeah, I'm glad that I can be in 41.2 seconds, and I hope that the result is quite enough to be in the semis.
Yeah, well, let's hope so. See you then.
Yes, thank you.
Little wave there from Balmanis, and that is Gronholm, I think it is indeed, all lined up and ready to go. So brilliant event down here in South Africa. If you're back in the UK, which is where I live, I'm sorry it's wet and cold there. It's lovely and sunny down here, but luckily it's likely to be lovely and sunny as well when we go back to Silverstone for the second Speed Machine Festival, 25th and 26th of May 2019. That's bank holiday weekend, so no excuse. You can have Monday off to get over, maybe having a few beers whilst watching some rallycross. That might have been what I did. I didn't have any beers while I was watching the rallycross, but maybe afterwards. It was a really good event this year, and tickets go on sale tomorrow, I believe, so you'll be able to get your tickets for Speed Machine. That would make a rather nice Christmas present, I think. Right, here we go then, race 2 of Q4, the final qualifying session of the year, lined up and ready to go. Only 4 in this one, and that of course is because Bennett disappeared from the first race. So Kevin Eriksson, Lance Schischerit, Robin Larsen and Niklas Gronholm. Schischerit, 4 new tyres on the car. Look where he is, 13th after Q3. But he's 13th by, who's equal in fact with 12th in Timo Scheider. He's only a point, 2 points off being P9 ahead of Timosyanov. So Schischerit is the man we need to watch in this one. Got to do a good time compared to everybody else. That could see him into the semis, and it might see Scheider, Eriksson or Baumanis knocked out. So Baumanis we've just seen. What can Galant do? Well, he's got a good start, that's the most important thing, in between the 2 MSC cars. In fact, he looks like he's out-dragged Eriksson. Contact between Eriksson and him down towards turn 1. Eriksson bullies his way through. Larsen trying to go around the outside. Larsen gets turned round. So did he go on the gas too much, or did he get a nudge from his teammate Larsen? It didn't work out this time. He got it last time. This time it hasn't. It's Eriksson. And in fact, over the jump, Eriksson leading from Schischerit. Schischerit having a look up the inside. No room there, though. Gronholm. Schischerit's going to have a look. Is he to the right? Watch out. He needs to defend from Gronholm. Gronholm's taking the racing line. Schischerit compromises himself, but manages to hold on to the position.
There's got to be a move to Joker right now, I'm sure. So we've got Schischerit taking Joker. Interesting call. Larsen decided to start. He's wasted the new rubber. He's also got some new tackies on, and there was a waste of the Cooper rubber there.
Tackies.
You like a South African
That's
term?
a term. I love a local term. There's new tackies on there for Larsen. And Larsen with that mistake in turn 1. We'll take a look back at the replays in a minute. But Schischerit feels he's quicker. Dave Mansfield, his spotter, has sent him to the Joker. And in fact, look at the back of the pack. Schischerit's almost on them already. So it's definitely the right thing to do. The big problem he's got here, in my opinion, is whether or not Larsen goes Joker. Because if he doesn't, the time's going to get lost anyway.
He needs the spotter to call Larsen in right now. That's what he'll be hoping for sure.
Look at this, already showing that Schischerit would go into the lead from where he's now. He's joking in 1 lap. He's made up enough time to be able to take the lead. He's now behind Larsen. This is a disaster for Schischerit. He's got to beat the times of the guys who are ahead of him. He needs to beat the time of Eriksson, who's ahead of him, and he was aiming for the time of Baumanis.
Look, the wrong guy went for the Joker there.
Yeah, he did go, didn't he?
Gronholm, but Gronholm's gone and taken it.
The thing is now, with Eriksson leading from Larsen, OMSC are going to hold Larsen out there so that he can't get the overlap on Kevin.
Of course, that's a very good spot, Andrew. They're so close on points, trying to secure that semi-final position. They're going to play team tactics here for sure.
100%.
And hold out till the very last and hold Schischerit up.
100%.
Unfortunate, the Frenchman's been looking fast.
I'll be staggered if Larsen goes now. It would be unusual tactics, and he doesn't. It's exactly the right thing to do. It's exactly the right thing to do. So Schischerit now having to hope these guys don't lose too much time. What lap time did he do? He did a 41.6. Okay. Trouble is, yeah, 40.9. Schischerit's capable of a half second quicker than these guys are in front of him based on his lap 2 time. But if there's nowhere to get past Marius, he's just going to have to hold on. It would be better to follow and not have a problem than it is to try to pass and lose a second.
Look, I mean, I feel sorry for him because, like you said, new tyres. He really needed to have a good start there. Oh, Larsen pushing it to the very edge, going over that jump, trying to catch Eriksson. But this is where they're going for the Joker.
At the minute, Schischerit's going to have this by 1.1, it seems. Into the Joker, go the 2 MSC cars. Here we go. Watch for Gumtree Schischerit on the inside. He's stayed nice and calm. Needs to get the car rotated, get it straight on the gas. Lovely job. Gumtree Schischerit's going to go through. Niklas Gronholm goes with him. The 2 MSC cars drop back, not quite with the pace. Gumtree Schischerit hoping for a place in the semi-finals. Where's he going to stop the clocks? Baumanis the target. 254.2, 254.8. So 0.6 off Baumanis. Baumanis was in P10, but he has beaten Kevin Eriksson, who was in P11. Kevin, though, is in P3, so yeah, Kevin's going to drop 2 points to him here because Gronholm's in between. and he was only 1 point behind him. So Shishirit may have just booked a slot in the semi-finals with a good, calm drive when it looked like he'd had a bit of a shocker with the Joker lap. So tidy tactics from GCK.
It was interesting when he chatted to Neil yesterday after Q1. He said he made a mistake and then he got so irritated and frustrated with himself that he overdrove the car. He kept it very, very cool now in Q4.
And that's the thing, isn't it? Because when you do the Joker, you're like, no, this hasn't worked out. Then you get the frustration in the car, push, and you feel like you're losing time. But he hasn't. He's taken it. 2:54.8. Kevin Eriksson 2 places behind him. That could see Shishirit get the last spot in the semi-finals. Balmanis ahead of him was in P10. He needs to watch out for what Timo Scheider does. So Scheider is in this next race, and Scheider is in P12 at the moment. All to play for. So off the start then, the two MSC cars. Shishirit looked like he got it, but look at Kevin Eriksson, he's like not having any of it. And I think there was a bit of contact between him and Larson, where Larson lost out. It's the way it goes.
Look, and that's what's also difficult. Shishirit did have a good start, but he doesn't have enough of an advantage to turn that into a lead.
Can I just say, Larson styled that out big time as well, didn't he, you know?
Are we giving any points for style?
100%, yeah, definitely.
Well, he's the winner for sure.
Yeah.
But you nailed it. Did so well there. So smooth through that Joker lap. Did everything he needed to do and drags on Nicholas Gronholm. Well done.
Great job by Shishirit.
So you just before this session and you said you needed to find your speed. It looks like you found it.
I tried to go every time one step a little bit better. And I have no choice because I was really on the cut, so I have to take some risk on this one. So I don't know where we end up, we'll see, but I had to take some risk. The start was a bit rough. On the first corner was cars everywhere. And managed to keep my line. Joker turn 1, lap 1. Tried to fight to finish, to recover my my pace to come back finish front of them. So pretty happy with this.
Well done. Hopefully see you in the semis.
Thank you.
5 more cars lined up, 2 more races to go. That's nervous times for Shishirit as he waits to find out whether or not he can make it through. Where's Markland at the minute? Markland was 8th. He was indeed 8th. I don't think GCK would ask him. If it was earlier in the season, there was something up for grabs, but you know, there's nothing really up for grabs here other than a slot in the semis. They're never going to ask Markland to drop back for that.
No.
So he will stay where he is, I'm sure, and have a big push. Race 3, Q4, just 2 qualifying races to go in 2018. Inside, Andreas Barks, he's with me to say. Inside, Andreas Backerud. Next to him, Kevin Hansen, Timothy Timosyanov, Anton Markland and Timo Scheider. Scheider in P12 has gone for 2 new boots. Anton, 2 new boots in P8. 7th for Hansen at 2 new tyres for him. Timosyanov and Backerud, no new tyres here. My memory's not good enough to know whether or not they've saved anything for the semi-finals. We'll find out soon enough. Sun beating down here in South Africa. A cloud. That's the first one of those I've seen in a couple of days. Here we go. Oh, is that a jump? Surely it is, yeah, Markland. 4 cars go. So,
That makes it interesting.
It does, but what's interesting here as well is that some of these guys are canny enough that when they see somebody jump, they will go as a practice start. So if you watch Kristoffersson, very rarely, if somebody else jumps, does Kristoffersson not go, because he'll go to check if the RPM's right. So, clever stuff. Jump start for Markland means that he's going to have to do 2 Joker laps. Car's pulling back up to the line. See they reverse out and then roll back in again. Going to take a look back at that one. I'm sure he was creeping in the last session and then lost out. Yeah,
he actually did.
Yeah, so Markland struggling with his starts. But there you go. Backerud, the last man to pull up to the grid. On the pole slot on the inside. Once that Audi's in place, we'll be ready to go again. Markland won't jump the start second time because that's an immediate disqualification, but it probably means he won't get the best start either. Okay, 5 cars back on the grid and we are good to go. So Anton Markland in the 92 car with a jump start means 2 Joker laps for him. Going to release those cars down to the first corner. Markland's going to have extra tactics to work out. I'm sure GCK will be across that. Scheider looking around the outside. We've got Backward, Hansen, Timazyanov on the inside. Oh, a great start, Timazyanov and Backward. Definitely, I think they're going to edge Hansen out, but Hansen now trying to drag it out, drops it behind. Timazyanov's gone out really wide. He's left the door a little bit open there. Scheider's trying to do the whole round the outside move. Timo Scheider might get this done this time, up to P2. Timo Scheider with a lovely move. He's going to drop back the third, though. Kevin Hansen with a nudge on the back of Backward. Sideways over the jump. Backward leads from Kevin Hansen and Timo Scheider. Timazyanov has lost out and ended up all the way down in P5 trying to go around the outside of Mark. He doesn't really need to worry about Mark because Mark, if he's got any sensible Joker now and give himself there, he does.
But you know what amazed me? Timo has been so blitz off the line, but then he seems to back off into turn 1 and get muscled out. He did that yesterday. Happened again now today.
He moved wide there. I mean, you need to give yourself some space, but it's difficult. See, Kevin's clever as well. He's seen, hasn't he, that he's lost the start. Okay, fine. He knows if he's lost the start, the best place to be is inside P2. There's where he ended up, inside P2.
But I love Timo Scheider had the same grid slots in the previous race, so he's getting quite comfortable going around the outside. Nearly pulled it off.
He pulled off an epic move in ARX at Silverstone, getting both the factory Volkswagen Beetles from ARX. Just great stuff. So Backward is chasing P2 in the championship, so he needs to take a point off Ekstrom if he can. I think he's 3 points behind him in the standings. Let me have a look and see. 4 points behind, in fact, so he needs to take a couple of points off if he possibly can. And Markland's done both, yeah. Good move, why not?
Get it out the way, and you've got a clear track ahead of you. Try and chase the guys down.
Well, let's see what the gap is to Markland. There you go, 7.3. So Markland, I think, unlikely to make any progress in there, but he's giving himself the most gap he can and the clean line. 40.3 for Backward. Backward is absolutely flying, so he needs to beat Ekstrom here. Ekstrom at the moment is 1 place in front of him, but they're equal on qualifying points. So basically, whoever goes fastest in this session will take the qualifying spot and take a point off their teammate. And when you see the show later on today, you'll be able to see just how much these guys want P2. So Backward up towards the finish line on this lap. Oh, Hansen as well, look at the bump there. What's he going to do this time round? Backward looking for another 40.3 or lower. If he can get it 40.4, it's good enough. He's flying, he's on the same pace Loeb was on in the previous session.
Yeah, this is exactly what Andreas Backward. Quite a quiet weekend, I said it earlier, for EKS. So they do need to obviously secure the championship position. Can't get any closer. Him and Matthias going into it, so it's going to be interesting to see the next race.
Kevin Hansen just 0.9 of a second off in Backward, sideways through the chicane coming down last lap. These guys are going to have to split left this time. 2:54.2 is the target time at the moment of Yanis Baumanis, and I think Backward should be well on to take a good couple of seconds off that. Here he goes on the drag down towards the finish. On the inside, Timazyanov is only just in front of Markland, so Timmer, where was Timmer? Has he got a problem? Timazyanov was only in P9. What's going to happen? Backward is looking to stop the clocks. 2:50.7. He's done it by 4 seconds. Well, 3.5 seconds. Backward has taken it by. Timazyanov holds on to his position. Markland in P5. 2:50.7 by Backward. Great time. Would have been enough to win either of the sessions yesterday. Earlier on today would have put him P3 in Q3. So he has thrown it down there. That's quicker than... Yeah, there they are.
I love it.
I got a song from them yesterday, bless them. They were, yeah, I think they might have had a few beers, as always. But here we go. They're over the moon. And Backward has just gone quicker than Ekstrom went in Q3. So good job by him. Up to Ekstrom to respond. So 2:50.7. Then Kevin Hansen, Timo Scheider, Timazyanov and Markland. Here he slots in. Look, him and Kevin going fastest so far. Baumanis and Scheider. Schischrit looking P5, so Schischrit looking good for that last slot in the semis. You're going to find out because we've got just one more race to go. So off the line, Timazyanov and Kevin Hansen. Kevin Hansen being beaten by Timmer, it seemed, and then Timmer somehow ended up out wide. Timo Scheider doing a good job in this, of course, to beat the time as well of Gurlan Schischrit, which means that he's also looking to nick that spot in the semis. I mean, Scheider's just in at the minute.
He was on the bubble, yeah.
The danger man actually is Kevin Eriksson. I think Kevin Eriksson's going to lose out, and Scheider and Schischrit are going to go through in 11th and 12th. But, you know, we'll see. You're going to find the points in just a few moments' time. We've only got one race to go. Great drive by Andreas Backward, beating the time that Ekstrom set in Q3. Will it be enough for Backward to out-qualify him and narrow the gap to his teammate and team owner by just a point ahead of the semis?
Qualifying for quickest by 3.5 seconds so far. Is that because you shaved off the moustache?
Well, this morning I woke up with a text message from my old manager Jantora, and he texted me, "Hey mate, this is probably your maybe your last FIA World Rallycross Championship race. In worst case scenario, will you be remembered as the guy with the mustache or without? Please shave it away, it looks ugly as beep." So yeah, I'm sorry to all the Movembers out there, but I had to quit.
Okay, and just about the race itself, the time is very good. Now I guess you've got to watch Matthias to see if he goes quicker.
Yeah, I did my best, so let's see where we end up.
Thank you.
To all you guys at Felix, I hope it's a great show back home for live where you are now.
Thank you.
Backer's quite excited, isn't he? Umbrellas are up, and that is that. Yeah, it's for the heat. Yeah, very much so. We've had some rain this year. Actually, we've had it all this year. We had snow in Portugal. Yeah, incredible.
Yeah, round 2 was insane. I can't believe that. At least we've stuck to South African weather.
I'm glad you've been watching it all, Marius. Very good. Well tested there. Good, good.
Were you throwing a curveball, were you?
No, just checking. Yeah. No, impressive, mate. It was incredible. It was absolutely bitter. You would see the temperature drop by 2 degrees centigrade, and then the snow would come. And it was a roller coaster day. Well, it's been a roller coaster season. It's been great fun, and it's been great having you guys along at home to watch. Right, we've got just one qualifying race left, so I think let's get the Monster Energy girls off the grid and get things underway. Time for the final qualifying race of 2018. It's going to be a cracker. Have a look at this. The double world champion Johan Kristoffersson on the inside. Sebastian Loeb, the only man to have beaten him in qualifying this weekend in terms of outright pace. Timmy Hansen, Petter Solberg and Matthias Ekström. One new tyre for Timmy, everyone else unused. Are people trying to save new boots for later on? Kristoffersson has been brilliant since his problems in Q1, unbeatable in Q2 and Q3. Loeb, though, could be the man to do it. Here we go. There's that familiar noise of the Volkswagen anti-lag. Comes on early always, takes a long time to build up to where they want it. You'll hear only a low rumble from these cars. They've all got similar setups in terms of the way they do their launches. Look how close they are on the outside, Ekström and Solberg. Really, really long hold. Superb start by Solberg and Kristoffersson as well. Solberg contacting the side of Hansen. Big contact, way too much. Oh, he's nearly taken out his teammate. Ekström trying to go round the outside. Loeb up the inside of Solberg, gives it back. Solberg was really forceful off the start. He runs wide with Ekström too. Kristoffersson's going to get the whole shot. Loeb goes through into P2. Solberg and Hansen sideways over the jump in the background. What on earth were they playing at?
Hang on, what happened there? Because Matthias, I thought, had the best position going around the outside while they were fighting for the inside, and he's at the back.
Super forceful though. These guys are normally in a train to get the times done, and this time round they had a good old punch up on the way down to turn 1.
Timmy Hansen did not back down at all, because we saw Petter Solberg doing that same move, running it a bit wide through 2 to block it off.
It was more the run up to turn 1, because he just pushed straight into the side of him and there's nowhere to go. So we'll see. Keep an eye on there, see on the timing screen, see if any reprimanding or investigations come up for them. 40.4 for Kristoffersson, and of course this is perfectly played into his hand. But look who's behind him, Sebastian Loeb. As I say, the only guy really who's had that outright pace all weekend. Hansen's done a couple of good laps, but Loeb did that perfect run in Q3.
Look, and we can also, we've missed Solberg and Ekström both, obviously, that the Joker makes complete sense. They got caught up in the squabble, so they're trying to find some clear track for themselves.
Timmy goes Joker now to try and defend from that position behind. So Timmy Hansen in the Joker lap, looking to try and edge Solberg out. Seems to be fireworks. Oh, sorry, you're right. It's Loeb coming in from the Joker lap. Good shout. So Loeb's gone from up the front. So Loeb has gone then to cover off Solberg behind. But also, he was really close behind Kristoffersson. So Loeb obviously thinks he's got the pace.
Well, let's have a look at what Loeb is doing. 40.7. His Joker lap was a 42.8, which is on top.
Fastest lap of the day, Timmy Hansen, as we were saying, is Loeb that's got the pace. This is on today. Peugeot can do this, so could Audi too. It's all to play play for. Timmy Hansen in P2. Can he get Kristoffersen? I think he's too far back, definitely 1.6, but it's going to be about whether or not Loeb can. Hansen and Kristoffersen are going to wait until the last lap.
Peter Solberg doing literally a 40 dead, so he does have good race pace. Timmy Hansen, 39.8. He really is on fire.
I think Peugeot jokered Loeb to cover off Solberg behind if Solberg was on a flyer. So that's a safety move, but particularly he was right on the back of Kristoffersen. But at the minute, Kristoffersen seems to be edging Loeb on pace. He's only by a 10th of a second.
Even quicker for Timmy at 39.7, so he is on fire.
Look at that, Timmy Hansen, 39.7. If he hadn't had that trouble at the start, might this have been the run? And I tell you what, it's also proving, Marius, that the Peugeot has great pace on used tyres as well. Here we go then, last lap of qualifying this season, 2018. Kristoffersen goes through the joker lap. He's aiming for 250.7 to take the session. On the inside, Timmy Hansen, Sebastian Loeb trying. Timmy's gone through the joker with him, but he's got Loeb. Loeb has been beaten by Kristoffersen in the last session. Is that going to be enough to take TQ? Kristoffersen's going to cross the line. He's going to stop the clocks at 2:49.3. He takes the session from Bakkerud. Kristoffersen has won 3 sessions after having a disaster in Q1, and that will put Kristoffersen TQ over Sebastian Loeb. Equal on points, but he will win on countback because he wins Q4. Kristoffersen has taken his 8th TQ of the season, broken another record, come back from P16 in Q1. Incredible. They think it's incredible too.
So do we in the commentary box. Unbelievable.
Yeah, but they fight on. They're all on used tyres there, unless Volkswagen have managed to save a set. So Volkswagen, I can't remember.
But Timmy actually put a new tyre on the back right, which was interesting.
Whole set though. Has anybody got a whole set for the semis? Johan Kristoffersen takes the win, 2:49.3 from Loeb, Timmy Hansen, Petter Solberg and Matthias Ekström. There you go, that means he wins 3 qualifying sessions in a row. We will confirm those positions for you in just a moment. So off the line then, have a look at this. Solberg, look, immediately into the side of Hansen. Hansen can't go anywhere because Loeb's up his inside. That's a lot of contact on the run down to turn 1, but nothing on the timing screens at the minute about an investigation. Side race for everyone. Solberg runs a bit wide. That takes Ekström with him. Hansen somehow gets around the outside of them, and then Loeb was putting in the chase on Kristoffersen. That was super close on pace.
He did the exact same thing through wide, dropped him to 5th. But listen, Solberg clearly wanted the inside line because he gave a massive
he just went for it. To be fair as well, at that point it's very hard for Solberg to be able to see. But anyway, it was really fierce down into turn 1. But the fight back from Kristoffersen has been unbelievable. It's what we expect from the legend.
Johan, that's quite a way to end the season. Your top qualifier again, but it could not be closer with Sebastian Loeb as we go to the semi-finals.
Yeah, going to bed yesterday, I knew it was 10 points to the P1 from my 6th position, so I knew if I have 2 top qualifying 3 and 4, we're going to be equal in points if Sebastian is P2 in both, so I knew it would be tight and I can do it on my own strength without trouble for anyone else, so this was exactly the best I could achieve, and I'm super happy to be able to do it. Thanks to the guys, they gave me a really good car today.
Good luck later, thank you.
Thank you.
Kristoffersen doing the maths overnight, realising what he needed to do. He needed to win Q3 and Q4. He did that. Equal points you can see between him and Loeb, but on countback, Kristoffersen gets it. Sebastian Loeb P2. Timmy Hansen will be on the front row, so it's Peugeots and Volkswagens on the front row for both the semi-finals. Bakkerud's got Ekström. So Bakkerud has got Ekström and takes 1 point off him. The gap is down to 3 points as we go into the semi-finals, so it's on for that last place. For 2nd and 3rd place, in terms of the podium at the end of the season. Kevin Hansen, Anton Markin in P8, great job. Let's see who's made it. Baumanis, Scheider, Timmerjanov and Schischeritz made it. Gronholm's not had a good weekend down here. Eriksson, Larsen and Munich have also missed out. Whew. Wow. Marius.
Okay, give me a second.
Chill, just chill. So.
I need a cold shower after this.
Unbelievable. Kristoffersen, look, we keep saying he's on a record-breaking season. He's already on a 91% win rate. Bearing in mind that Lewis Hamilton's on 50, I think Ogier's on 34. That's not to do them down. They're legends in their own sport. What we're trying to point out here is that this is a world championship in motorsport, and Kristoffersen is doing an incredible job against a field full of legends. Solberg, Ekström, Loeb, the youngsters of Rallycross, Hansen and Bakkerud. You know, whether you like seeing domination or not in whichever motorsport is your flavour, This is an incredible, it's an unmatched performance, possibly in terms of world motorsport.
But it's a dominance where the competitors, like you said, are guys at the top of their game, showing unbelievable race pace, and yet he still does just enough. But it's their thought process, how he's done the calculations overnight.
That's
and
Johan.
he knows everything he needs to do before each heat.
Yeah.
That's a sign of a champion, for sure.
Yeah. Nothing left unturned. Been brilliant fun up here in commentary for qualifying. Of course, we'll be back for the semi-finals and the final later.
So, all guys on this guy. Can he do 11 out of 12 and utterly dominate this season like no one else is in motorsport at the moment? And look, he looks relaxed, but he hasn't got long to get the car all ready for the semi-finals, which are coming very soon. There he goes. Big smile from Johan Kristoffersson. You can see he's relaxed. He's just in it for the competition now and for the pride, and he's got the car on him. But you could see when we were live, just before I interviewed him, he said, "Who hit me from behind?" And he's got a big dent in the rear left of his car. So there's still a lot of fighting still to come. Thanks to Marius and Andrew Coley and the whole TV team. Thanks to you for watching. Now, if you want to know where you can watch the semi-finals and the final, the comments on YouTube and Facebook has the full details. Make sure you join us for the grand finale here in South Africa, the very last racing of the 2018 FIA World Rallycross Championship. We'll see you when the show starts again at 2 o'clock local time.